Ajaz Patel was born in Mumbai in 1998 and Parag Agrawal was born in Ajmer in 1984. They both came on news headlines since Parag Agrawal has become the CEO of Twitter in USA and Ajaz Patel, bowler in New Zealand cricket team, has got 10 wickets in a test match against India. This news highlighted the problem of brain drain from India. Brain drain is defined as the movement of highly skilled and educated people to a country where they can work in better conditions and earn more money. Who are the people that excelled as first or second generation emigrants from India to their chosen countries? Rishi Sunak, son in law of Narayan Murthy, is the finance minister of UK. Priti Patel, a proud Hindu, is the Home Minister of UK. Kamala Harris became the first woman to get presidential powers of USA for some time. There are many cricketers like Nasir Hussain of England, Hitesh Modi of Kenya, Hashim Amla of South Africa, and Alvin Kallicharan of West Indies. The list could have been longer had USA been playing cricket. In technology and business, the list is not limited to Parag Agrawal or Sundar Pichai, but has many CEOs like Satya Nadella, Arvind Krishna, Shantanu Narayan, and Vikram Pandit. Not to forget the businessmen and statesmen like Swaraj Paul and Sri Thanedar. Indians take pride in this gain, but this brain drain is also a cause of a lot of pain if you analyze it despite the dreams of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Professor Chinmay Tumbe at Indian Institute of Ahmedabad has done a deep research on emigration of talent from India. Nearly 1 crore people emigrated from India in the last decade and number of Indians living abroad is now more than 3 crores. These immigrants are mainly settled in the USA, Canada, Australia, UK, Italy, and the Gulf countries. Interestingly, these immigrants have become more rich and successful than the previous immigrants from India. So, the brain drain is real. Nobel Prize is the test of talent in the world. Two talented Indians, Rabindranath Tagore and C.V. Raman, received the Nobel Prize in British India. Tagore hardly went to a school and was creative as a poet and an educationist throughout his life. C.V. Raman, a child prodigy, was a government officer in Indian Finance Service in British rule. He continued his research in physics in India out of sheer interest and rose to become the greatest physicist of his time. Despite being under British rule, the talent had freedom to follow their passion.
What happened in Free India? Two Indian citizens received Nobel Prize. Mother Teresa got it for the missionary work for poor, especially for the leprosy patients. Kailash Satyarthi received the prize for his crusade against the child labor and for the children's right to education in India. After half a century after independence, we are still working on poverty and diseases and lack of education and child labor. India's spending on health and education is very negligible. What happened to the other talent? Indians who went abroad got Nobel Prize. Hargobind Khurana, Subrahmanyan Chandrasekhar, and Venkatraman Ramakrishnan received the Nobel Prize in Medicine, Physics, and Chemistry. Amartya Sen and Abhijit Banerjee received it for economics. V.S. Naipaul, whose grandparents emigrated to Trinidad, got the Nobel Prize for Literature. Interestingly, Chandrasekhar was the nephew of C.V. Raman. Why the nephew of the Nobel laureate had to leave India to pursue his career, that too in free India? This is surely not the indication of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Despite globalization, why the Indian talent still wants to go, work, excel, and settle abroad? One reason is the reservations in education and jobs. Discrimination based on color and race is also prevalent in Europe and America or in the Gulf, but the net outflow of talent clearly indicates it is still manageable to achieve excellence in a foreign land than in India. The second reason could be the higher standards of educational institutes abroad. The quality of Indian education is still not optimum, though we have increased the quantity. Hospitals and educational institutes are considered real estates or industries for profit in India. The third reason could be the nepotism in all fields of life in India. How can a Parag Agrawal become the CEO of an Indian company or Venkat Raman Ramakrishnan do world class research in any Indian university with red tapes and reservations? Brain drain is gain because of the money in remittance and the pride India gets out of it. But it is a matter of pain that the brain going to foreign land believes that it will go in drain if it remains in India. We have to work really hard to achieve the dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you.